All right, prop the mic here to start a fresh new week. How's it going?
Good. It's good. We took the weekend off on the pod, right? We still had some picks up on Twitter.
Yeah.
Just couldn't pull ourselves away from March Madness, you know?
Yeah, it was tough. Some nice fun upsets. Your team had a great first game.
Right. Destroyed Oral Robertson got destroyed by Tennessee. And your I guess your new team, UCLA.
Yes. Yeah.
Has survived and advanced, so they're looking good.
Yeah. And my other team's doing all right in the NIT, the Bearcats. So
you have a lot of teams, so
I have a lot of teams.
Somebody's bound to win something.
Exactly. It's like my picks every day.
Right. Yeah. If you throw 50 picks out, hopefully one of them will land. All right. But NBA is still going on, and there's been some good games. And today we got 6 more. It's early. We're doing the pod a little earlier than usual, so not all the lines are out. But I think we found some good stuff, right?
I think so. Yeah, and I'm excited. This is our only 2 more regular NBA Mondays after today.
Oh boy! And then the
down
playoffs.
Yeah.
All right, let's dive into it. So, first game, we got the Pacers at the Hornets. Hornets getting 1.5 points at home. Total is 234, so nice total. Halliburton's still out, which has a huge impact on the Pacers. And what do you like?
Looks like Mathurin also, he's missed the last few games. I think he's still questionable. I have a feeling he probably doesn't play.
Okay.
So on the Charlotte side, matchups we can look at, Terry has a nice matchup here, scoring wise, but he's been down. I think he's only hit his line 2 of the last 10 games. So but his line's 22.5. He gets to 22 very often. So I don't know. He's in a great spot here, but couldn't find anything. Hayward's another one, points and rebounds, both for Hayward. But again, didn't find anything I loved. And then also Nick Richards has a nice matchup here, especially with Mark Williams out scoring-wise. But also, did you have something on him?
No, I didn't even see his lines out yet. Were they out or no?
Nick Richards is out, but I also couldn't find something on him. So I just wanted to point those out. They're all strong matchups here, but I couldn't find something with enough historical backup to present here.
Okay.
Did you have anything on Charlotte's side?
No, I just had one pick on the Pacers side, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I have too. So you have a nice matchup here for where is it? Shooting forwards, which is Naismith and Nwora. No lines out yet on Nwora, but I like Naismith here, over 12.5 points. Not a ton of historical evidence, but the last 3 games he played, Mathurin's been out, I think, the last 4 games. The last 3 games, Naismith's scoring output, 25, 22, and 15. So that's in reverse order. So 25 was the last game. So he's trending upwards, it seems. You got Halliburton out. You got Mathurin out, most likely. So a lot of scoring options there. So I like Naismith. Would you like?
I went to an old steady of ours. He's a reserve on the PTM
team. Buddy.
Yeah. I wanted to play the same play that we played the other day, but it didn't pan out the other day.
The RA.
RA, 7.5, which he's done in 8 out of 10 games of his last 10 games without Halliburton. One of which being the game against I think it was Philly that we were on that didn't cash. So I went a different direction. I went with points.
Okay.
Over 16.5 points, which I liked, was plus 100. Plus money. 7 out of 10 without Halliburton, so still pretty good there. And his 2 games against Charlotte this year, 19 points and 21 points. So what do you think?
Yeah, it's a high total, right? And there's going to be a bunch of scoring in this game. You get 2 of the more high usage guys for the Pacers out. So yeah, I think it's a good spot here for him. I'd also look. I think it's also a good spot for Miles Turner. He was another one I wanted to point out here. Also, not super consistent, but yeah, another good matchup. So, yep.
It's so strange how you have two of the worst teams in the league playing each other, and all we said was not consistent, not consistent, not consistent.
Yeah, surprise, right? Surprise.
Surprised that neither of these teams are making the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Pacers might, right? Aren't they? Like, no.
Make the play-in. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Yeah. All right, let's move on from this one. I wasn't too excited about that game. All right. Next game, we got the Bulls at the Sixers. Sixers are -8 at home. Total's 225, so lower total, better game. What did you find here?
All right, you got this is a little out there, but you have a nice matchup here for versatile bigs, which are not these are your like your scoring, passing, 3-point shooting kind of bigs. So Embiid is one of these guys, but the category that really pops off against Chicago's actually been pretty good all around defensively. Not a lot popping going up against Chicago, but assists by these versatile bigs is a great spot. So Embiid over 3.5 assists is -150, so a little juicy. But Tucker's questionable. He's done this in 2 of his last 3 games without PJ Tucker, and in two of those games he had 7. Well, he had 7, 3, and 10. So 2 of those games he had a high assist output. He's done this in 8 of his last 10 at home, averaging 4.4 assists. He's done this in 20 of his last 27 games at home. He's cleared this assist line.
Wow.
He had 4. Yeah, he had 4 against Chicago back in October, so early on. But the reason this matchup was popping out is you had just since the All-Star break, Bam 4 assists, Sabonis 10, Şengün 5, Jokic 8 against Chicago. So that's the matchup we like here.
Like
you have
that.
anything? You have any? Yeah. You like anything else on Philly?
No, I didn't. I spent all my time on the Bulls side, surprisingly, which would not be my natural inclination, but I found some good stuff there. Let me start with the comparable on the Bulls side.
Okay.
I liked Vucevic over 2.5 assists, -135. So it could be a big man assist. 5 out of his last 6 games. Yeah. 5 out of the last 6 games, 7 out of 10 on the road, and 4 of his last 5 versus Philly. So those date back to last season, 6, 2, so that one missed, but 5, 3, and 10. 10 assists.
Wow.
His last game against Philly in January, Embiid did not play in the game, but he actually had a triple-double.
I remember that game. That's right.
So... so I don't know. He's got some good history, some good recency. Yeah. I do think DeRozan playing well of late is helping him get assists as well. So I liked it. I like the price. Could put these two together. Yeah. Or if you want to hedge a little bit, you could go probably do something like Vuce 2 assists and Embiid 3 assists, and then maybe you need to throw something else in there to get it to +100. But that could be a good base for a 2 or 3 leg parlay. So.
Yeah, I like that. And both teams pretty similar rosters to last year, so I think you can kind of read into that. I just had one. So you have a nice matchup here for shot creating wings and forwards, which is DeMar DeRozan here, especially for rebounds. They're really popping off. So I like him over 4.5 rebounds, -120. He's done this in 4 of his last 6 games against Philadelphia, averaging 7 rebounds per game against the Sixers. He's done this in his last 6 of 8 overall. He's done this in 3 straight games on the road with 7, 6, and 7 rebounds in those last 3 road games. And the reason I like this is these shot-creating wing/forwards averaging 8.6 rebounds per game against the Sixers since the All-Star break.
Yeah. I'm looking at some of the games in that last 6 games that you mentioned, 5 out of the last 6. Indy, he did it against, who was not particularly a good rebounding team. Denver was a pretty good rebounding team. Yeah. Houston, who we just went through last week, is a very good rebounding team.
They do well, yeah.
Yeah. Sacramento was the one game that he didn't get it. Against Minnesota, he had 14 rebounds.
Yeah.
And most recently on the 18th against the Heat, he had 5 rebounds. So it's not all easy competition in there. So I like that.
Yeah. It's a sneaky one. That was all I had.
Let me continue on the DeRozan train.
Okay.
So something has changed for DeMar.
Yes.
He is now shooting 3-pointers in the last 7 or 8 games. He has actually had a 3-pointer in which he's not known for in 6 of his last 7 games, and you can
Has
get
he really?
that. Yes, you can get that for -130. So I think that's a really good value. What I think is even better value, obviously don't play a huge amount on this, but 2 threes for DeRozan plus 420. And you know what he's done that in? 4 of his last 4 games.
I was wondering why you texted me that line this morning. I'm like, DeRozan in threes. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so he's attempting. I don't have the exact average, but it somewhere around like 5 to 6 3-pointers a game in the last week. So
wow,
something changed.
Is that for he's like trying to avoid like less contact and stuff? Is he like hurt and he's like, I don't know. That seems very strange.
I don't know why they've changed their game plan, but it's definitely a recent trend, and I don't think the books have caught up to it. So I think if you're going to play it, obviously 1-3 at -130 is probably good value. The Sixers are particularly good at defending the 3. So, you know, that's not a good thing, but overall, I think that's good for 1, and then for 2 to get plus 420 is pretty nice too. So
yeah, look at his attempts the last 6 games.
Right?
4, 4, 6, 3, 2, 4. Wow.
Yeah, for a guy
6 3-point attempts for him.
Usually would attempt 1, maybe 2 a game. Is now up to like 5, 6 a game. So
interesting.
Take advantage of that before the books catch up.
Good find, David.
I also, real quickly, I said this one the other day. I also like Levine assists over 3.5 -140. He's done this in 8 of his last 10 games, 7 of his last 7 as a subset of that, and versus Philly this year, and I think last year as well. Yeah, he's had 3, 6, and 5, so he's done it in every game against Philly in the last 3. So I don't know why, but the assists were popping for this game. So
yeah, wow,
right. So
pretty
something's
cool.
changed there.
Yeah.
They definitely have changed their game plan because Levine is assisting more, DeRozan scoring more. Like they definitely changed something in the last week, and I think you can take advantage and cash in on that.
Yeah, nice, good work.
All right,
yep.
All right, let's go. We got the T-Wolves at the Knicks. Knicks are -8.5 at home. Totals 228.5. I think there were only lines out for the Knicks side because Anthony Edwards was questionable for the game.
Yes.
Have you seen anything pop up?
I saw one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What do you like here?
So you have, on paper at least here, both Brunson and Randall, points and rebounds for Brunson. Rebounds was the real stat that was popping out for Randall. But I couldn't find anything I loved for either of those, but both in great spots against Minnesota here. What I did like, the other guys that had a good spot here were your ball handling wings, which for the Knicks are Barrett and Quickly. So I like Barrett here. Over 19.5 points is plus 100. He's done this in his last 6 of 7 overall, averaging 23.6 points. Ball handling wings, averaging 19.4 points per game versus Minnesota, going back to February. But that comes from Levine, 39, Jaylen Brown, 35, Mikal Bridges, 34, Gordon Hayward, 27. So I see a little bit of look on your face there, like you're putting RJ in the same category as some of these guys. Is that
no? I think he's better than all those guys.
Okay, all right. So I like that, and then I also like, it was also a nice matchup for rebounds. So I like his rebounds as well, 4.5 -1. This one's -155, but he's done this in 6 of 10 overall. His last 2 games against Minnesota, 5 and 6. And then if you want to look at those ball handling wings against Minnesota, Jaylen Brown, 10. Mikal Bridges, 6. Gordon Hayward, 13. Tobias Harris, 14. Franz Wagner, 6. So this is a nice spot for Barrett to grab those 4.5 rebounds.
Nice.
Yeah.
And if I recall, he rebounds better at home than away. Is that right?
You're correct. Yes.
Right. So
does everything better at home.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Anybody else on the Knicks?
On the Knicks? No.
I had a sneaky one.
Okay.
I liked Grimes. Wait for it. Over half a block / steal.
So you just got to get one blocker steal.
Minus 150. Going up against the T-Wolves, who are like the 3rd or 4th worst turnover team in the league. In games where he's played 20-plus minutes, which is pretty much, kind of the bottom of what he's playing now.
Yeah.
He's got this in 72% of the games this year.
Wow.
But you know what's funny about it? Hold on. I didn't write it down, so I'm just going to pull it up. You got it in front of you, or are you?
Yeah. Grimes. Yeah, I got it.
Look at his blocks.
Look at his block. Yeah. A lot of ones there.
Right? He's had a block in 6 of his last 10 games, 3 straight games. Like, how is this guy getting so many blocks? So I thought, that's also good value. If you want to just roll the dice and try to play a block, you get plus 210 on one block. And he's done it in his last, 7 games. He's done it 5 times.
Wow.
So that might be worth it. Although, again, steals, he does less frequently. He's done that in 3 of his last 5 games. But again, going up against Minnesota, especially if Anthony Edwards is out, then I think so. I don't know. It's minus 150. I wish the price was a little bit better, but I don't know. Just given the hit rate on the season, I thought it was good value. So
nice, good find. Very sneaky. So.
Very sneaky.
Very
okay.
Sneaky.
And then
I got one on
somebody
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
So not a lot of matchup. Knicks have been very good defensively, especially recently. They've been playing so well. But one matchup we have here, they have not been great defending the opposing team's primary ball handler. So for the T-Wolves, that's Mike Conley. I like his points here. Over 12.5 points is minus 120. He's done this in 4 of his last 5 games on the road. The only game he didn't do it in was his last game, but that game was on a back-to-back. So you got to give the old man, a little breather there. Yeah. So don't worry about the 12. But then the 4 games before that, 28, 21, 24, and 14. Primary ball handlers averaging 19.9 points per game against the Knicks since February. So
wow.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that.
All
right, cool. We're good with this one?
We're good. Let's keep moving.
Moving on. Warriors at the Rockets. Rockets are getting 10 points at home, which might be generous since the Warriors really can't win on the road.
Yeah.
Total's 238.5, so there'll be lots of scoring. So I dove into one particular player in this game.
Which side?
On the Warriors side.
Steph?
The other half of the text. Yeah, guards against the Rockets are really good, right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so good.
so Steph, before you do your deep dive, let me just tell you kind of what I saw on Steph.
Yeah.
So I actually like his assist line at 6.5, which is kind of crazy because he really, I don't have the number. I think he's done this in like 2 or 3 of his last 10 games. So hasn't really been getting to 7 assists since he's come back. But here's his last 4 games against the Rockets. On assists, he's had 10 assists, 15 assists, 9 assists, and 12 assists. So So assists
15 assists. Oh my goodness.
Assists are popping for sure. Points are also really good. 30 points, 33 points, 40 points, and 22 points. So his line, I like the assist line at 6.5. I also like his points line at 28.5. Let me just tell you something else I looked at on Steph's points.
Yeah.
So last game against Memphis, what was that, 2 nights ago? He had 16 points. So I looked up how Steph has done this season, the game following games in which he scored under 20 points.
Okay.
All right. So first in the season that time occurred was against the Spurs. He had 16 points. Next game he came back and put up 50 against the Suns.
Wow.
The next time he played the Bulls, he had 19 points. He came back against the Rockets and had 30 points. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The third time it happened, he had 12 points against Indiana. He came back the next game against Boston and had 32 points. The next time it happened, he had 15 points against the Spurs again. That was the only time he didn't do it. He came back and had 20 points against Chicago, but then followed that up with 41 against Washington. So last game was the fifth time it's happened this season, under 20 points, 16 points against Memphis. My projection is he comes back and puts up a 40-piece tonight, probably.
I love it. That was my only play from the Golden State side. I love that extra little digging you did. That's right up my alley. I love that. Yeah. I love the bounce back narrative right there off a bad game. The reason I was on this, you pointed out the last three games against Houston for the points, 7 of 10 on the road, averaging 31.7. His last 5 of 7 overall, averaging 32.1. And this is great. Shot creating guards are averaging 31.6 points per game against Houston since February.
Yeah, I feel like that category is basically defining Steph's game. Yeah. Shot creating guard, right?
Yes.
Like
yes.
That's exactly what he is. So that's awesome. Yeah, it's a great matchup. And I don't think they blow him out because they haven't really been that great on the road. So this could end up being a close game. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But good play.
Love it. Yes. Yes.
All right, what do you like on the Rockets side?
Yeah. Sorry. So you have a nice matchup here. Jalen Green. So primary ball handler, assists for primary ball handlers against Golden State is a great matchup. So it's Jalen Green. But he's super up and down. So we'll stay away from that. The one I liked, stretch bigs matchup really well against Golden State. So for the Rockets, that's Kmart and Frank Kaminsky. Frank Kaminsky doesn't play that much. So Kmart, over 14.5 points. It's plus 100. He had 22 against Golden State on February 24th. That's post All-Star game. He's done this in his last 5 of 10 overall, last 6 of 10 at home. And the reason I like this, stretch bigs averaging 17.6 points per game against Golden State since February.
That's great.
Yeah.
So it's also great that I just learned Frank Kaminsky's on the Rockets. Didn't even know that.
Yeah. But good. Steph is the play, man. I love Steph tonight.
Yeah, Steph's a good play. And I wouldn't be too against Jalen Green assist either. I think it's okay. I think if the numbers are calling for it, the guy's been really good of late. So
yeah. Also, just to know, Jordan Poole is also popping for Golden State here. I think it's a Steph game. But just wanted to point that out as well.
Yeah, Jordan Poole basically modeled his game off of Steph's game. So
yes.
That would make sense. Okay, let's move on. We got the Mavs at the Grizzlies. Grizzlies are -2. Total is 230.5. I don't know. It looks like Luka was going to play. It looks like Kyrie might play. What do you... There were no lines out when I did my research on this one before.
Yeah, I don't know. They're both still questionable here. Both, and then who knows? I have no idea. I didn't have anything for this game because there's really no lines out. In terms of matchups, against Dallas, one I would look at maybe later is points for Aldama. I know we lost on that one right last week.
I still stand by it, and actually the trend that particular pick lost, but it was 9 straight when he played 22 minutes or more, and he only played 21 minutes in that game.
All right, vindicated.
Not that makes us feel any better.
No. So that was the one I'd point out. If Ja was playing, he'd have a tremendous matchup here, but he's not. And then on the Dallas side, so Kyrie and Luka both nice matchups here against Memphis, especially for rebounding. Shot creating guards, rebounds, really popping here. But who knows, because they're questionable. If they don't play, I love Jaden Hardy here. Ball handling wings, scoring for ball handling wings, jumping off the board here, going up against Memphis. So I love him. And then also Christian Wood, versatile bigs, points and rebounds. Also both great matchups against Memphis. Like we've pointed out, big men, especially rebounding, have just been like feasting on Memphis. So I'd look at Hardy and Wood here, especially if Kyrie and Luka don't play. I think they're phenomenal plays.
Yeah, both of these teams are not good rebounding teams, though.
No.
So, all right. So no official plays on this one because there really wasn't much out yet. But maybe we'll throw something up on Twitter once the lines get settled. All right, in the last game, we got the Kings at the Jazz. Jazz are -5 at home. That's surprising. Total is 240. Did I read that right?
Jazz are -5?
Did I read that right? That doesn't feel right.
No, it doesn't feel right.
Let me stat check myself. The Kings are it was 5. Sorry. So the Jazz are plus 6.5.
Okay.
I was like, what? I was ready to go hang up on this pod and go drop them.
Go place a bet.
On the Jazz. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So not a lot of nice matchups in this game. You have I like Walker Kessler here, rolling cut bigs, rebounds, really nice against Sacramento. So his line is 11.5 and it's plus 100. He's done this in 4 straight games at home, 14, 15, 12, and 18. So very nice right there. The reason I like this, rolling cut bigs are averaging 9.9 rebounds per game. I understand that's less than his line here, but you have to understand rolling cut bigs encompass a lot of players. So you have a lot of guys dragging down that average. But if you want to look at since February, like the real deal guys in there that Kessler is a good comp to: Claxton 14, Gobert 14, Plumlee 10, Willie Hernan Gomez 16, Pirtle 12. So I like him here. And then another guy that you mentioned last week that we need to keep our eye on. Oh, you have something for Kessler?
No, I was just his last 2 games against Sacramento, he only had 11 and 6. So what do you think about that? I mean, he didn't play a lot of minutes. He only played 17 minutes in the second game.
Maybe
he had
blowout. I don't know.
He had 5 fouls in the first game. Oh wait, no, he was good. I don't know. All right. Yeah, I get. I mean, he's an evolving player, right? He's a rookie, so 3 months make a huge difference in his play.
Yes. And then one other. Who was the guy last week that you told me we need to keep our eye out for on the Jazz?
Oh, former Kansas Jayhawk, Abaji.
Abaji, right? That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
He's probably upset because he watched his team get sent home, but let's see.
So he's got a nice matchup here. So for some reason, off-ball wings against Sacramento, I've just been crushing points, assists, and rebounds. They're like the number 1 or number 2 matchup against Sacramento since February. So I like his points the best, I think. It's 12.5 and it's plus 100. Yep. When he plays 22 plus minutes, which I assume he will in this game, he's done this in 6 of his last 10. So not overwhelming, but I think it's in a good matchup. It's a guy that, is just starting to get some runs. So you don't have a lot of historical stuff here to look at trends, but these off-ball wings averaging 15 points per game against Sacramento since the beginning of February. So I think he's in a nice spot here at plus 100.
Yeah, if you look at his minutes, it's really kind of like 6 games sample.
Yeah.
Where he started consistently playing 30 minutes. He did play a 26-minute game in there, but then every other game was about 30 plus. And he's done it in 4 out of those 6. Mm-hmm. And he's getting a lot of attempts, right? He's taking 10 to 11 consistently every game, field goal attempts.
Yeah.
Of which 75% of those are threes. So to get 13 points doesn't really seem crazy. I like that.
No, it doesn't. And I even point out here, so you have Clarkson's out, obviously. Sexton's out. Markkanen is questionable in this game. Markkanen might not even play. He's questionable with back soreness. So if Markkanen doesn't play, this is even a better play. So, did you have anything on Utah?
No, I do like that Chris Dunn guy.
Chris Dunn.
Do you even know who he is?
Yeah, he played for Providence.
Oh, did he? Yeah. No, he's been their backup for the last couple weeks, and he's actually pretty good.
He was out of the league. He was out of the league.
He was
like 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell the guy plays with a kind of a sense of urgency that the rest of the players don't have because he knows it's probably his last shot.
Yeah,
but he's good.
He was one of those guys, I think, when they had the 2016, maybe when they had like the new CBA and like all the salary cap went up. All these guys got these like insane deals that summer, I think, and he was one of those guys that got way more money than he deserved. But
good
anyway,
for him.
Good for him, exactly.
All right, who do you like on the Kings side?
So shot creating guards against Utah, just popping off here. So I love De'Aaron Fox. Over 26.5 points, minus 125. He's done this in 6 of 10 overall, but 8 of 10 on the road when he plays 30-plus minutes. He pretty much always plays 30-plus minutes, averaging 30.1 points per game in those 10 road games with 30-plus minutes. Shot creating guards, this is where I got on this, averaging 29.6 points per game against Utah. That's Luka 29, Kyrie 33, SGA 38, SGA 39, Jalen Brunson 38, Trae Young 27. So Fox is in the category with all those guys, especially this year. So I like our boy De'Aaron.
Yeah,
Fox.
he's an all-star.
Yeah.
Even though he was the only one who didn't score in the All-Star game. But that guy's special, man. And he's particularly special in the fourth quarter.
Unbelievable.
Right? It's like
he's so awesome.
He just turns it up and like he might. So if you do play this and he's got, 18 points, with 6 minutes left in the game and you're like screaming, don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. He's got you. Unless the Kings are winning by 30, then you should be upset.
That's a different story. Yeah.
What about Sabonis here?
So what? It wasn't popping. So I didn't look. But what do you got?
20.5 points. He's done this in 7 of his last 10 games. Versus Utah, is two matchups against Utah. He had 28 and 21. So bigs generally do well against the Jazz. Alternatively, you could play his points and assists because he has pretty good success there. Instead of 7 out of 10 on the points, he's done this in 8 out of his last 10 games and cleared with 36 and 29 in both matchups versus Utah. So I like it. I don't love it because I generally don't love playing Sabonis above 19.5. I just feel like he always gets to that 20 and then gets you. So
yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Anything else in this game?
No. I mean, you have nice matchups here. Barnes is in a nice matchup. Huerter and Monk are both in nice matchups. I see Huerter's questionable, so so Monk and Barnes probably get some uptick even more with Huerter out. So I would definitely pay attention. If he sits, Barnes and Monk already in good matchups will be even better if Huerter's out. So,
Are there lines out for Monk yet or no?
No, I didn't see any lines for Monk yet.
Yeah. Okay. But Barnes is out 15.5 points. Nice. Okay. All right, cool. So that does it. Like we said, it's early in the day. So we'll get some of our favorites posted on Twitter, and then we might even throw an extra pick or two up later today, just as the lines come out for some of these players.
Yep. All right.
Very good.
Work. Enjoy the games.
Yep.
Bye.